Okay, hi everybody. This is Mr. Roche. We are back with the Bouncy house, and we were getting our buttons working, and we were testing them out with the console to make sure that the buttons are responsive. Okay, and we've done some styling so that when we hover on them and click on them, they turn colors, which is cool. We've also kind of styled them so they don't do other things because like older buttons used to do that, and that's not as great as what things like this looks like. This is pretty more straightforward look. But what we want to do is start working on the canvas. Okay. So what we got to do is we got to go back over to the JavaScript and also to just again what we did is these are kind of cool functions to make the on-click work. What happens is we actually send it a function that calls up toggle button. And we also send it a function that calls up reset house. So these are like kind of interesting functions because they don't have any names, okay? But they're okay in JavaScript. Like some languages will let you do this. And so instead of sending it like a value like 3, you can actually send it like software. That's sort of what's going on there. So that gets registered with kind of on click, and then when you click on the button over here, it'll trigger this thing over here, which is good. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're kind of working up here, sort of setting things up. And today what we want to do is set up like the canvas and the way we're going to work to figure out where the buttons are going to go, or the dots are going to go. And the way this works is that we actually need to know like the size of this rectangle here, okay? And figure that out and know kind of where it is, because that's where we're drawing. And this is how you do this. You're going to say, you're going to make a variable for like the rectangle, okay? And what happens is canvases come with some information about themselves, and you can go like this. You can say canvas, because we called it canvas, I think, right? Didn't we? Let's hope. Yep, we did. It's this thing right here. And we're going to go dot. Get. This is a weird thing, but this is very special to the drawing canvas. We're going to say get bounding client rectangle, RECT, like that. Okay, and that's like super special. Like you literally have to type it out just like that. If it's misspelled, it won't work, etc., etc. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make some fast variables on this to say canvas width. Okay. And that's going to equal, okay, and what happens is canvases come with like some like the location of like where these points are, okay? So canvas top is like basically like the y coordinate of the top and the bottom, and the x coordinate is like the right or the left and the right, okay? So this comes with like a number, and this comes with a number, and this comes with a number, and this comes with a number, and it's kind of like where they are on the screen. And if you move the screen around, these will change and stuff. But we're kind of assuming we're not going to move the window right now. But what we'll do is we'll go like this, and we'll say rect, which is this variable here, and we'll ask this variable to tell it what its right side is, okay? And if I minus that against the rect left, then I know how wide this is, okay? So it's a little bit weird, but like let's take a look at this up here. Whoopee, sorry. Let me see. I'm trying to like shrink the window so you can see this. Okay, so what we're saying is, I gotta keep this sort of wide here, and I'll move this down. What we're saying here is this is the rectangle, and this is like where the left side is, and this is where the right side is on the x-axis. So it's like taking like this number on an axis and this number from an axis. And since this one's always going to be larger, if you take the right one and minus the left one, you get like the number of pixels that are between these two lines. Okay, and we can do the same thing for the width. So we'll say canvas or height. Okay, and it's going to be rect bottom minus rect top. Okay, how's that? Okay, and then what we could do right now is just to check that we can go like something like we can make an alert and say here we can even do console log here. Yeah, let's do an alert because I don't want to move the screen. So I'm going to say alert. And I'm going to go like this and say, you know, at top of the program, something like that. Canvas width is, and then we'll go like this and we'll say plus canvas width. And I'll continue this line because I can do that in JavaScript, which is cool. It's easier to do it in JavaScript than because they use these semicolons to stop lines. And we'll say here, and canvas height is something like that, space plus canvas height. Okay. And let's see what that does for us, okay? So we'll save it and we'll run it. And what's going on is that, see what it's doing right now? It doesn't show the canvas, but it actually figures out the size of the canvas in the beginning, okay? So what we got out of that was, here, let me do it again. It's 858 and 308. And what it's saying is that this is 858 and it's 308 over here. Let me do something as an experiment, like if I shrink up the window. Let me see, because we have, it depends on how we styled this, but let me run it again. It's still the same there. It doesn't look like the window sort of shrinks, see? So like, let me see, because it's still like that big, even though like everything else around it is shrinking. Because I think we have it styled to be like a set style. So anyway, so you should be getting some value like that, okay? You know, check it out. Like, let me make sure you get numbers, okay? And let's see if that works for you, okay? And if it doesn't work, then we can, you know, do something about it. But basically, I'm gonna comment that out now because I know that works, okay? And that's pretty good, okay? And then what we're gonna have to do is program a bunch of, we already have sort of reset done, and we have toggle button done, okay? And we have these sort of activating functions down here, but we're gonna have to make a couple of new functions, okay? So I'm gonna make, let me see, I'm gonna make a function here called move everyone. And this one's going to move all the dots, okay? And we'll just have it here, we'll have it ready. We have to program this. Okay. Okay, so this is going to move all the dots, okay? And then, and this is going to be a big complicated function. This is complex. But we're not going to start there, okay? We're going to start with sort of easier ones. So after this, one of the things we really want to do is maybe just start. We'll do like this one first, maybe. Here's one to get. We need to be able to get the mouse position. Whenever we move around the screen, we want to get the mouse position. Like that. It's going to get a thing when you click. Okay, so this is how we find like an X and a Y for a mouse. Okay, and I'm going to go like this and make a function for it. Make like the sum of it. Okay, and we'll call it like get mouse position, like that. Okay, and what it's gonna what's gonna happen is somebody has to send it like the canvas. Okay, so it has to be able to access the canvas, and then it has to get like what would be called an event. Okay. And that would be like a mouse click. So when somebody mouse clicks this, this is what gets called up, okay? And we're gonna program that, okay? And then maybe like the second thing we're gonna program here is another thing. We're gonna have to, once we get the mouse positions, we have to add the XY values to the arrays. So we're going to have to add them to these like arrays here, okay? So we're going to go like this. Okay, so there's going to be two arrays. So we'll go like this, and we'll say, I don't know, I'll have a function called like add click, okay? And we're going to send it an X coordinate and a Y coordinate, okay? So that's not so bad. And notice too that like in the past we've been making our functions would take no data, like nothing gets sent to them, okay? But now we're doing things where we're actually getting data when these function gets called. So whoever calls this has to send it like an XY coordinate, okay? That seems pretty good. And then the next function we're going to have to do probably is like we'll have to do something to I'm going to put down here, probably we'll do this one third. There's no particular order to these things, but we have to add something called an event listener to the canvas. We have to add something that's going to like kind of wake up when you click, okay? So we're going to go like this and say like add okay, so we're going to do that, and this is like a little bit of a different kind of function, okay? So I'm going to go like this. It might mess everything up if I make a sub of it, but you go like this, you say add event listener, okay? And what you do is when you have a mouse down, okay, it's going to call up some function, okay, for the event, okay? And that's sort of what you do, okay? And then this is a little bit weird, watch this, okay? So that's really all we need to type for that, but you can actually send it, again, like one of these kind of functions, okay? So hold on. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to do something, okay? And there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff we do. Okay, so this needs programs, okay? Okay, and if it's not working for yours, it's okay. But what we have to do is this is all still part of the things that get sent down to it. We're going to send it a function, okay? And then I think we have to handle like somebody has to be sort of a babysitter of it, and we can say false for that. We can just sort of not acknowledge it, and then it'll just sort of like do something, okay? So we could say something like console test it out. You clicked me, like that. Okay, we can kind of test it. We'll have more programming. Okay, like lots more programming. Okay, and then the last function we probably have to program here for us would be something to update the screen. So we're going to need a function called like redraw. Okay, and this is just going to like update screen. So I'm going to mark this one as like maybe number 4. Okay, but really we're going to do like kind of 4 and 3 together. Okay, so let's see what happens here right now. I tested that out, but that's all I want to get done for this video. I'm just kind of making the stubs for these functions. Okay, so what I did was I added a couple of lines here to get ready to handle the canvas, okay, which is something we have. We already have all these things. We have a really great color list. We had made toggle button and reset house, but what we did is we made these new functions. We made a function called move everybody, get mouse position, add click, and redraw, and then we added this weird thing at the bottom. Okay, so take a little time to get that right. But that's one of these kind of things. We're adding something to the canvas. But let's test it out. Okay, I got like about 15 seconds. Okay. So if I go here, I might run out of time. If I go here, okay, I got 10 seconds. If I click now, see what it does. It says you clicked me. I can do this though. I can still do this. I'm not sure why that's doing that.